Spades and Tunk, yes, I'm black. Other than spades and tunk, I really haven't got into poker and blackjack, where they was playing at the cigar bar I went to on Friday night. But I do want to learn eventually. But next is golf. But tonight, man, I want to review this Steve Harvey video, and I'm gonna play some videos after it to kind of answer the question that he asked. I'm sure some of y'all have seen it, where he was talking to Shannon Sharpe. I don't know how this is going to work. Hopefully, it's just a couple of minutes and they let it ride. I was trying to get some steals, but I didn't have a chance to get them. But let's get into this first video.
These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job.
But what happens to when the woman tell you, I don't need a man, Steve?
Well, they need to, what? Okay.
I'm going to pause it right there. So what Steve is failing to realize, and somebody said it on Instagram when I first saw this clip, I think it was the basketball player Frank Nitty. Shout out to Frank Nitty if he sees this. But he was like, man, Steve giving advice from his pockets, not ours.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
And that is such a true statement. This is why I have an issue sometimes taking advice from married men. A lot of men get married, and that ring, now all of a sudden they're part of the Green Lantern Corps. Yes, I'm a nerd. I'm going to make comic book and sci-fi references. They think they're part of the Green Lantern Corps. They got all these superpowers, and they want to start shooting all this information out of there, right? And so many men think, well, because he's married, he got to be right. That's not totally true. So when he's asking, do we know what we're supposed to bring? We're totally aware of that, many men. But then that goes to Shannon Sharpe's question. I'm going to let it play after this. What about the women that say they don't need no man? I'm 41. I've been hearing that for at least 30 years. I've been hearing that for quite some time. Hold on. Let me see. It says, am I glitching, y'all? Y'all let me know. Drop some ones in the chat if y'all good. Peace, G.R.O.W.T.H at night. Peace. I appreciate you in here, sis. I know I made you a mod for a reason, man. This is one of the best moderators on YouTube. She always comes through for everybody, from lead attorney to, man, I could just, MTR, I think. I could just go on naming. So shout out to G.R.O.W.T.H at night. Y'all make sure y'all go follow her and support the sister. But to Shannon Sharpe's question, what about the women that say they don't need no man? And Steve's getting ready to answer it, but it's so many men out here, Steve, that do know their job and are executing their job and are struggling to find women to get on their program. And it's not because he's struggling because he ain't shit. It's because she may not be shit. But we're not taught to talk about women in that aspect. It's something that Kevin Sam used to say all the time talking to women. Hey, if you were a dude, you would be a bum. What's wrong with telling women that? But I'm going to let it play. Let's keep rocking.
You don't, how that's working. You know how that's working. Who don't need no man?
I'm independent. I can do for myself.
Yeah, but why do you want to? Yeah, okay, you can drop a transmission. You can sandblast your house. But hell, do you want to?
No.
If somebody could get out there and drop this transmission for you and sandblast your house, why don't you go get your nails done? I'm not trying to reduce a woman to nothing else. Be all you can be. But damn, who don't need a man? That's a lie. What man don't need a woman? I tell you what. Try to live without them. Try to live your life without women. This ain't about la-da-da, man.
You see how he pivoted? He asked the question back to Shannon. Well, who don't need a man? You see how he pivoted? He hit that real quick and went right back to the men's responsibilities, right? Which again, so many men, let me tell y'all something, man. Men in the chat and women in the chat, men are pretty much static. We're pretty consistent. We haven't changed over time. We want some rest. Two things I say. We want some peace and some pussy. If you can add additional peace into a man's life that's already structured, and you throw him some cat every now and then, That man is we're almost hardwired to give you the world, to make sure that you don't have any issues. So this constant talk of what men need to do and what's wrong with this generation and these type of men of this and these type of men of that, what drives me crazy, it absolutely triggers the shit out of me. Because there's so many good men out here, they're the ones that are present, that are usually catching the smoke. The fuck boys, the ones that women have all this fun with, and I knew he wasn't shit, so I wasn't gonna marry him, but you let him have access to your body, those guys never catch the hell. I know so many women with poor baby daddies that do not have those men on child support. But the next dude, the stepfather that's come in, is supposed to throw on a cape and be a fucking superhero. I'm gonna keep letting it play. We got a couple more seconds left.
And there's some bullshit without women. If it wasn't for women, what would you? Aristotle Onassis said it best. He said, if women did not exist, all the money in the world would have no meaning. Dog, women is everything. They'd catch me out. They'd lick, man. But these young boys done forgot it because these women out here, they've had to be independent because they ain't got the right man.
A lie from the gates of hell. They didn't have to be. They chose that. The majority, the vast majority of them chose that lifestyle because it's solid ass men out here that will balance things out with you, help to the point where you damn near don't have to do anything. So that's just a bold-faced lie. I'm sorry, and I'm sick of hearing that shit.
Okay.
But this system of marriage is still good.
Okay.
This system of a man taking care of a woman, that's really how it's supposed to be. All the rest of it's bullshit, man. And y'all need to quit tricking yourself with this new way of thinking. Because this new way of thinking ain't getting y'all no damn where. I'm sorry.
Look, man, Steve said a lot. Some of that I do agree with. I do believe it's our responsibility. But let's break it down like this. Again, I use my parents as an example all the time because they in it for the long haul. They've been married 42 years. When my parents got together, my dad had bed sheets. My mama had pots and pans. Literally, they've both told me this story at different times, again, and don't know that each other told me that story. So I know that shit is true. We were just having a general conversation of, me being a baby and, they were reminiscing. Both of them at totally different times. Not the same weekend, not the same month, just totally different times have told me this same story. And they made it work. They pulled their income together. As soon as it got to even out where my mom didn't have no debt because she was younger, they're 12 years apart. When my mom had me, she got out the military, but by that time, they had set a foundation, a solid foundation that my pops could stand on and shoot off. And let me clarify this about my pops. It's not that he didn't have a foundation. However, this is the thing about marriage, because everybody love to present it like it's just peachy keen. My dad was coming off a divorce. So you know what that looked like as far as his pockets and child support. I got 3 older sisters from his first marriage. So my mom, again, I say it all the time, my mom took the gamble on my father because she saw his character. It wasn't about this. So everybody keeps saying, oh, you're supposed to take care of a woman, you're supposed to do this, that, and the third. And every time a man brings up, I got this amount of money, women move the goalposts, they flip the coin over real damn quick and start talking about, well, I mean, will you take care of me emotionally? Will you take care of me? It's not just physical, it's not just provision and da-da-da. But if we come in and say, hey, I do these other things, the first thing out of women's mouth, if you're paying attention and notice, is provision. Money. They don't talk about the discipline that you provide. They don't talk about the structure that you provide, especially when they're even bringing in other men's children. I'm going to say this real